I just found out my girlfriend has been using me to make her ex jealous. I'm not confronting her yet. So last night, my girlfriend Lena and I were at my buddy Drew's birthday party. Good crowd, drinks flowing, everyone having a great time. Lena was chatting with her friend group most of the night, which was fine. I was catching up with guys I hadn't seen in a while as well. Around midnight, things were winding down and I was helping Drew clean up in the kitchen when Greta stumbled in. Greta is Lena's best friend since college. Nice girl, bit of a lightweight when it comes to drinking. She saw me and got this weird look on her face, kind of guilty and amused at the same time. Then she just said it. "You know she's only with you to make Felix crazy, right?" I laughed it off. Told her she was drunk and didn't know what she was talking about, but she got this serious look and grabbed my arm. "I'm serious, Blake. She still texts him every single night. She keeps telling us how jealous he gets seeing you two together. That's the only reason she's dating you." Drew saw the whole thing and pulled Greta away, apologizing to me. But the damage was done. I found Lena, told her I wasn't feeling well, and we headed home. She fell asleep in the car and I just drove in silence, my brain racing. Felix is her ex from 2 years ago. She's mentioned him maybe 3 times in 8 months, always in passing, nothing weird. I had zero reason to suspect anything. We seemed solid. She even introduced me to her parents last month. I was starting to think this might be it, the real thing. When we got home, Lena went straight to bed. I stayed up for hours just sitting in the dark living room. Around 3 a.m. I did something I'm not proud of. Lena was dead asleep and her phone was charging on her nightstand. I've seen her unlock it 1,000 times. Her passcode is her mom's birthday. I opened her messages. It didn't take long to find Felix's name. The most recent message was from 11:47 p.m. while we were at the party. I scrolled up and my chest just went cold. Hundreds of messages, every single day we've been together. Lena sending him photos of us, asking if he'd seen them, telling him she missed him, saying things like, "This isn't serious, right? And he's just temporary. Nothing feels right without you." There's even a message where she outright said, "I got with him just to make you jealous. I wanted to see if you really cared." But that wasn't even the worst part. I opened her group chat with her girlfriends Greta, Madison, and 2 others. And there it was, message after message about Felix, about how pathetic he was for still responding to her, how he was so desperate it's actually sad, how she was playing him like a fiddle and he was too stupid to realize she was just using him for attention. I felt sick. She was playing both of us. I screenshotted everything, every message. Then I put her phone back exactly as it was and I just sat there until sunrise, watching her sleep peacefully while my entire relationship dissolved into nothing. She woke up around 8, kissed me good morning, asked if I was feeling better. I said yes, made her coffee, acted completely normal. Why am I not confronting her? Because I'm not going to give her the satisfaction of seeing me hurt or angry. I'm not going to let her turn this into some emotional scene where she cries and makes excuses. I've been used as a prop in her sad little game for 8 months. I'm done playing by her rules now. I have a plan. It's going to take a few days to execute, but when I'm done, she'll understand exactly what it feels like to lose something real because you took it for granted. I'll update when it's done. Update 1. It's been 4 days since I found out. 4 days of pretending everything is fine while I've been a zombie inside. But I'm getting through it. Greta called me the next day, completely mortified. Apologized about 20 times. Said she should never have said anything while drunk and that she felt terrible about putting me in this position. I told her it was fine, that I appreciated her honesty even if it hurt. She seemed relieved but also surprised I was being so calm. Then she said something interesting. I've told Lena 100 times that what she's doing is messed up, but she just says, I don't understand their connection. She really thinks Felix is going to take her back once he sees what he's missing. That's when I started forming the real plan. I've been acting totally normal with Lena all week. Thursday morning, she finally dropped the bomb I'd been waiting for. We were having breakfast and she just casually said, "So, I've been thinking about my commute. My company's opening a new office location. I could transfer there and establish my own team. but it means I'd need to move. I asked where this new office was. She named a neighborhood that I know is near where Felix lives. I'd seen his address in some of her messages. She'd sent him her location once, saying so close yet so far. That's a big change, I said carefully. When would this happen? Pretty soon actually, maybe 2 weeks. I've been looking at apartments online. I asked if she needed me to help her move. She just smiled and said it was fine, she could ask her friend since I was so busy. Right. Yesterday she was on her phone more than usual. At one point she went to the bathroom and left it on the couch next to me. A text popped up from Felix. Saturday at 2 works, I'll bring my truck. So Felix is helping her move. Of course he is. This is exactly what she wanted. Get him over to her new place, conveniently close to his, and suddenly I'll be too far for the relationship to work. But here's what she doesn't know. I've been preparing. I took all those screenshots, specifically the group chat messages where she tore Felix apart, organized them chronologically, created a document that showed exactly what she really thought about him while she'd been texting him sweet messages about getting back together. Then I went to Staples and got it all printed and bound into a little booklet, about 40 pages total. I put the whole thing in a manila envelope. On the front, in my neatest handwriting, for Felix from Lena, nothing else, just letting her own words speak for themselves. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Felix is coming to help Lena move boxes. She told me I don't need to be there because I've already done so much. I told her that was fine, that I needed to catch up on some work anyway, but I will be there. I'm going to show up right as Felix arrives. I'm going to be friendly, helpful even. And when I leave, I'm going to hand him that envelope and tell him, Lena wanted me to make sure you got this. Then I'm going to walk away and let the truth do what truth does. I'm writing this now because I'm about 90% sure this is the right thing to do and 10% terrified it's going to blow up in my face. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. That's when we know how this ends for sure. Update 2. I did it. Everything fell apart exactly like it needed to. So yesterday, Saturday, I showed up at Lena's new apartment at exactly 1:55 p.m. I've been sitting in my car down the block for 20 minutes, watching the time, making sure I got there right before Felix. When I walked up, she was surprised to see me. Blake, I thought you were working. Wrapped up early, I said. Figured I'd come help after all. She looked slightly annoyed for a second, then recovered. That's sweet, but my friend's going to be here any minute and honestly we've got it covered. You don't need to write then. A truck pulled up. Felix climbed out and my first thought was that Lena definitely had a type. He looked like he could be my cousin. Lena's whole energy changed when she saw him. She literally lit up in a way I'd never seen before. Funny how that was the same person she called pathetic behind his back. Felix, hey, she rushed over and hugged him, holding on just a second too long. He hugged back but seemed more reserved, looking over her shoulder at me with a confused expression. Felix, this is Blake, she actually hesitated. My boyfriend, Blake, this is Felix, an old friend who offered to help. I walked over and shook his hand. He seemed like a decent guy, honestly. Polite, firm handshake, direct eye contact. Nice to meet you, man, he said. Thanks for letting me help out. Of course, I replied. Actually, I can't stay long. I looked at Lena. I just wanted to drop off that thing you asked me to give Felix. Lena's face went confused. What thing? I pulled the envelope from my jacket. This. You said to make sure Felix got it today. I held it out to him directly. Felix took it automatically, looking at Lena with a questioning expression. She was staring at the envelope like it might bite her, eyes wide. I don't. What is that? Her voice had gone up half an octave. Just what you wanted him to have, I said calmly. Then I looked at Felix. She wanted to be honest with you, it's all in there. I turned to leave, then paused and looked back at Lena. We're done, by the way, I'm done. The look on her face, she knew. She didn't know exactly what was in that envelope, but she knew I'd figured it out. She reached for me. Blake, wait. Have a nice life, Lena. I walked to my car, got in, and drove away. In my rearview mirror, I could see her standing frozen in the parking lot while Felix stood there holding the envelope, looking down at it with obvious confusion. I went home. Blocked her number, blocked her on everything. Then I sat on my couch with a beer and just waited. 2 hours later, my phone rang from a number I didn't recognize. I already knew who was it before I even picked up. "Is this Blake?" Man's voice. "Yeah, this is Felix. I need to know if these are real." "Every word," I said. "Every screenshot is time-stamped. You can verify it." There was a long silence. Then, "Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry, man. I had no idea she was doing this to you, to either of us. I know, that's why I wanted you to see it. Some of these messages," his voice cracked. "She's been texting me like she wants to get back together. I thought maybe she was just nostalgic or something, but this whole time she's been calling me pathetic, desperate, laughing about manipulating me with her friends." He paused. "She literally wrote that I'm too stupid to realize she's using me. Man, I feel sick." I felt that punch in the gut all over again. Yeah, she played both of us. And the worst part is I've been responding to her messages because I don't know what I thought, that maybe we could be mature adults who stayed friendly. But she was just keeping me on the hook as a backup plan while making fun of me behind my back. "What are you going to do?" I asked. "Cut her off completely," he said without hesitation. "And I think I'm going to post something. Not naming names, but I need to get ahead of whatever story she's going to try to tell." Last night around 8 p.m., Felix posted on social media. It said, "Sometimes people aren't who they pretend to be. Thanks to someone who showed me the truth I should have seen a long time ago." The post had over 300 likes in an hour. Several people commented that they knew exactly who he was talking about. Lena's name started appearing in the comments until Felix deleted the whole post, saying he didn't want it to become a witch hunt, but the damage was done. Around 9 p.m., Lena called me from a different number. I recognized her voice immediately. "You bastard," she screamed. No hello, just straight to rage. "You ruined everything." "Do you have any idea what you've done?" I stayed calm. "I know exactly what I did. You went through my private messages. You had no right. You're right, I shouldn't have looked, but I did. And I found out you've been using me for 8 months to manipulate your ex." It wasn't like that. You don't understand. I understand perfectly, Lena. You told Felix I was temporary. You planned our entire relationship around making him jealous." She was crying now, her voice breaking. "Blake, please, I never meant to hurt you. I was confused, but I care about you, I really do. You cared about what I could do for you. There's a difference, and I refuse to stay in a relationship like that." "Then why did you have to show him?" Her voice went shrill again. "You could have just broken up with me." "But no, you had to ruin everything, destroy any chance I had. Any chance you had at what? Manipulating him too. You're cruel, you did this out of spite." I took a breath. "No, Lena, I just gave the truth back to the person who needed to know it, that's all I did." "I hate you." "I know, the feeling's mutual," I said quietly. "Goodbye, Lena." I hung up and immediately blocked that number too. The voicemails started coming after that from yet another number. The first one was more sobbing, begging me to call her back. By the third one she was screaming, calling me every name in the book, saying I'd sabotaged her entire life. The last voicemail was just her sobbing incoherently about how I was cruel and vindictive and she never actually loved Felix. She loved me, and couldn't I see that she was just confused? I deleted them all. Blocked that number too. This morning I woke up and the first thing I felt was relief. Pure, uncomplicated relief. It's done, I'm out. The truth is out there and I don't have to carry it alone anymore. Some of you will say I went too far. Maybe I did, but I don't regret it. She used 8 months of my life as a prop in her fantasy. She manipulated both me and Felix. She didn't deserve a quiet exit where she could control the narrative. Now both of us know exactly who she is, and we're both free. Edit. Someone asked if I ever actually loved her. Yeah, I did. That's the worst part. I was all in. That's why this hurts so much even though I know I did the right thing. You can't fake 8 months of feelings. I was real. She just wasn't. Final update. It's been about 2 months since everything exploded and there's been enough closure that it feels right to wrap this up. First, my life now. I moved out of the apartment Lena and I once shared. Technically it was my place, but everything about it reminded me of her, so I found a new spot closer to my gym and office. It's smaller, but it's mine. Completely mine. I repainted the bedroom navy blue, got a new bed, hung up some art I'd been meaning to frame for years. It sounds small, but starting fresh in a space she never touched has been huge for my mental state. I've been on a few dates. Nothing serious yet, and honestly I'm not looking for serious. One woman, Jessica, I've seen 3 times now. We met at a friend's barbecue. She knows the basics of what happened. On our second date she said, "I can tell you're still healing. That's okay. I'm not in a rush." That kind of straightforward honesty is exactly what I need right now. Here's the thing that surprised me most. Felix and I have become actual friends. Not just bonded through shared trauma friends, but genuine friends. A week after everything went down, he texted asking if I wanted to grab a beer. We met at this dive bar near his place and just talked. About Lena, sure, but also about work, sports, life. He's a solid dude. Felix told me something a few weeks ago that stuck with me. He said, "You know what I finally figured out? I think Lena actually convinced herself that I wanted her back. So when I wasn't giving her the reaction she wanted, she couldn't handle it. She had to take control of the narrative by tearing me down. If I wasn't playing the role of the heartbroken ex begging for her back, then I had to become the pathetic loser she was too good for." That's probably the truest thing anyone said about the whole situation. As for Lena herself, I've heard things through the grapevine, though I try not to engage with gossip. Greta told me Lena moved back home with her parents. Apparently the job transfer either fell through or she never actually pursued it once the Felix thing collapsed. She deleted most of her social media or made it private. Greta says she's been reaching out trying to reconcile their friendship, but Greta's keeping her distance. A few mutual friends have asked me what happened, and I've kept it simple. We weren't right for each other, and it ended badly. Most people respect that. A couple have pushed, and I just shut it down. This isn't about airing everything publicly. It's about moving forward. The one time I did see her was completely by accident. 3 weeks ago, I was at the grocery store and she was in the produce section. We made eye contact across the apples. She looked rough, tired, thinner, hair pulled back in a messy bun. For a second I thought she might approach me, but she just turned and walked quickly toward the exit. I felt nothing. Not satisfaction, not anger, not even pity. Just nothing. That's how I know I'm healing. I still think about it sometimes. Usually late at night when I can't sleep. I wonder if there were signs I missed earlier. I wonder if any of the good moments were real for her, or if I was always just a means to an end. I wonder if she actually feels remorse, or if she just feels sorry for herself for getting caught. But then I remember that it doesn't matter. I could drive myself crazy analyzing every interaction, but at the end of the day, what's done is done. There's nothing I could do about it now. She made her choices and I made mine, so that's where things stand. I'm not going to say I'm grateful for what happened because that would be bullshit, but I am grateful for what I learned. I learned that I can trust my instincts. I learned that I'm stronger than I thought. That's what I'm doing. One day at a time. Thanks for listening, Reddit. You helped me see clearly when I needed it most. I won't forget that.